Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Man Shed. Okay, now this review is going to be on how to lay a laminate floor from a total beginner's point of view. I've never laid a laminate floor before. Done tons and tons of DIY. I've done most of the decorating, plumbing, electrics and that in the house, but I've never laid a laminate floor. The reason I've done it, and it's just a small section as I'll explain, is just under where I'm sat, under this office chair. Over the 3 years that the man shed has been in existence, it's almost exactly to the week 3 years since I finished it. I had quite a good quality short pile carpet put in with thick underlay, and it's nice to walk on. But over that 3 years, the office chair, the former chair to this, which again I'll mention in a minute, has destroyed that carpet. As you probably know, the legs on the rollers on the legs, and that constant back foot and quite hard to pull on that carpet, eventually destroy it all, and the carpet goes like this. I'll show you what it has done to the carpet here. So as you can see, the carpet here, where the chair hasn't been, is still pretty good. It's only like 3 years old, this carpet, and it's quite a high quality carpet, but as you can see it's okay. But as we move over to where it's been, here's the desk I sit at. You can see marks on the floor that's where the wheels are most of the time, and as I push it you can see it's destroyed this carpet really. And it's got a good underfelt, good Cloud 9 sort of type foam underlay as well. So you can see how loose it is there, and yet just a bit behind how it's still good there. So this is that bit of carpet after I've cut it out, and as you can see there, where it's sort of not sort of stained, probably been the odd Coke can got spilt on it or whatever, but this bit here where the chair hasn't been is still fine. All that backing, that weave, that sort of square cross section adhesive backing stuff or whatever, is still stuck to the carpet really well. But here where the legs have been, you can see it's just not attached anymore to the carpet, so it's lost all its integral strength, and that's what's causing it to sort of like fold up, to wrinkle up as you press it. And basically, you know, that carpet has had it, that area. So I've cut all the offending bit out. Like I say, it's about 1.5 square meters, and all the bit around it is still fine. So yeah, you can see what an office chair does to a carpet in 3 years. So as you saw there, the way it destroys the carpet. I showed it before. I cut the offending piece of carpet out, and it was all squidgy and moving. And the reason for that is, as you saw later, that backing mesh thing, I don't know whether it's glued on or what, but that cross-hatched, plasticky looking, glue looking, strengthening bit has all come separated, so that the carpet has lost all integrity. And that's what an office chair with its rollers will do to your carpet after 2 or 3 years, maybe even earlier with a cheaper carpet. So I've decided I need something hard under my chair. Now, in the past I've tried items like this. Neither of them are satisfactory, so I'll show you what I mean now. So we've got this one here. Now it's coming out, it's saying non-slip carpet, blah, 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 solid anti-scratch. Now you can get it's like a piece of Perspex, absolutely solid. But it needs to be, and I know this from my Robot Wars days and Macrolon and stuff, cracking, you need a pretty thick piece of it to stop cracking. Over a while, like I say, I did have one a few years ago, and after a while you get loads of little hairline cracks in it all, and all through here, all over, you get that little cracks, and it's just the rubbish really. They're too thin. In fact, if we scroll down to this one, I looked for a thickness on that, couldn't find one, and this review here is saying it's not even solid. It's claiming to be solid, but it's a rolled up piece of plastic. So that's not even a solid one. But I suppose if you could get a really, really thick piece of Perspex or Macrolon or whatever polycarbonate sheet, it would be okay. Now the other one is this sort, like a flexible sheet. It's got like little studs on the back to grip the carpet, and then you lay it on top, and it shows like the office chair on it there. But again, from my experience, they just don't work. The chair still digs into it, presses it down, and it's still hard work to push it backwards and forwards. So both them solutions, for me, are out. Tried them both. Not happy with either of them. So what I decided to do was replace a 1.5 metre chunk of carpet with some proper laminate flooring. Now, I could have just removed the carpet and used the floorboards underneath, the proper flooring quality chipboard sheets I used when I built the shed underneath, but it wouldn't have looked very nice, and I like being in here and basically live in my shed, so I want it to look presentable. So I thought I'll stick some laminate flooring down. Now, I've never ever laid laminate flooring before, so I have a friend who owns a local carpet shop, and I went to it. It's a quality carpet shop, and I went there and asked him if he had any leftover packs of laminate flooring, because I wouldn't need much. I'm only after like 1.5 meters. And he said, oh yeah, I've got some over here. It's been here ages, sort of slightly damaged. And he gave me, it's this. Now, like I said, I don't know good laminate flooring from bad. So anybody watching this, if you're in the flooring trade, you'll probably be able to tell me. But that's the stuff he gave me. And he had some damaged packs. Now, if you look here, you'll see. So as you see here, this is the pack he gave me. This is the first pack. You see, I've used some of the planks out of it. But as you see, about 3 inches at the end is badly damaged. It's been totally bashed off of the tongue and groove part. But when you're putting them together and you're staggering them for the joint lines and that, it doesn't really matter, because the whole rest of it is held solid. And then there's another plank goes on the other edge at the top there and lines up, and you wouldn't even know a bit was missing. It is absolutely solid. So if you just lay in a small section or even full sections, damage like that isn't anything to be worried about, really. This is the second pack, as I'll explain shortly. I had to nip back at the last minute and get another pack because I hadn't got enough in the first pack. I thought I would have enough, but I didn't. So you can see, obviously, the whole sort of batch probably that arrived has been damaged, or it's been damaged by his own fitter in transit or something. But yeah, good for me that it was, because I got it at that bargain price, i.e. free. So I asked him how much he wanted for it, and he says, oh, you can just have it, Tom. And I says, no, I don't like people just giving you something for nothing. I says, no, look, I'll give you something for it, because I also need some trim to join for where the carpet joins the new laminate flooring, and I want some of the foam membrane underlay, whatever you get, the very thin foam. So this is what he gave me for them. So as well as them 2 packs of the flooring itself, he gave me all this underlay, all this foam underlay, much more than I'd need, and a full sort of 3 metre strip of this aluminium joining piece. You can see on the right there where the spikes are there, that's the bit the carpet goes under and pushes right up to the middle of the blue bit there. And the left hand side, you can see a bit better here, is the bit that goes over the laminate flooring. So that gives you a nice smooth transition between your existing carpet and your new laminate floor. He gave me the full pack of the damaged as shown laminate flooring, that full length of alloy joining strip, and triple the amount I needed of underlay for 15 quid. So a real bargain, and get a quality flooring for me office chair, and for less than the price of one of them flexible or solid things that will crack. Now, as you saw on that picture, I've got a piece of it here. The flooring is damaged here. The full pack had a chunk missing here. But it doesn't really matter, because the way this goes together, it's really clever. If you've never done it, you just insert it in there at an angle, click it down, and it holds in there solid. It's just a short piece of that, and a really nice looking join. And even with that damaged bit, you put it there, it's still solid. And of course you won't be joining it like that, you'll be joining it offset. So the damaged piece there, your next piece that goes on there is not going to be damaged, and it doesn't really matter. So don't be put off if you've only got a bit damaged. And it's ideal, like I said, because if the carpet store you go to has got any like that, they're obviously not going to be able to sell it anything like full price, so they may either give it you or sell it at a really discounted rate. And I did have a quick look on site, because that's the one he gave me, and I looked up that lifestyle Chelsea flooring, and I'm sure it was something like 29 quid a pack. So I got a good value. Now, if you look on there, you'll see here, right, 2.16 meters. Now, the mistake I made was, I said to him, I said, Paul, I'm only doing 1.5 square meters. And when I saw that pack, 2 point something square meters, I thought, oh, plenty there, loads. But I didn't account for wastage. Now, the one sort of like problem with this stuff, it's not like just laying normal tongue and groove skirting board, because on the end of it as well, you have got this groove to join in with the next one, as well as the sides. You need it there. So once you've measured it and you've cut it like that, there, you end up with a piece, obviously with a cut out the other end. And then when you use that next bit, it's hard to explain this, but when you use that next bit for another bit, you end up with a piece of flooring cut both sides that you can't use again. So it can be a piece about as long as this, when you're doing just a small area, that is useless, because it's got the tongue and groove on one side but nothing on the other, so you can't join it up proper to maintain this nice beveled edge on this side. So you end up wasting quite a few of the planks. I've got quite a few left over in the garage, which are, like I say, this sort of long, and I couldn't use them. So I did run out of stuff on that 2.4 square meter pack, even though I was only doing 1.5 square meters. So I had to do this whole job in one day, and I hate getting up early in the morning. I've never been an early bird, but I had to dismantle my entire computer area where I'm sat now, this whole table with my PC on it, the tripod with the camera, the monitor, the keyboard, everything. Get all that lot out of the shed, cut the carpet up, do all the flooring, and then get it all back in again on the same night for the Zoom quiz that I was doing that night. So I had to get it all done in one day, and it gets to about sort of like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I'd run out of this stuff. So I had to dive back to the carpet shop, and luckily one of the other packs he had in there was the exact same match, and he just gave me that for nothing. So yeah, 2 full packs of this pretty good quality, I think, laminate flooring, all the foam and the alloy for 15 quid. Now obviously if you're paying full price at a carpet shop, it's going to cost you more than that, but still probably cheaper than buying a more expensive chunk of plastic to put under your chair. And I know that is easy, it'll just plonk on top of the carpet, but take my word from it, from trying both types, they aren't that good. The flexible one is still hard to pull your chair back, it still sort of digs into the carpet, and the hard plastic one does crack unless you get a really thick piece, and then a really massive 1/2 inch thick piece of Macrolon, Perspex, polycarbonate, whatever, isn't going to look great on your carpet. So again, I know I've been waffling, but that's basically what this video is about. Me doing this bit now done of laminate flooring where I am now. Now the reason being, I've just bought a new office chair. I've hinted it in a couple of previous videos, and there's a full review coming up on it. I won't tell you what it is, but you may be able to tell from the back there and that side what it is. It's unbelievably expensive. I've had it a week now, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I ummed and ahed at the price I paid for it, which I'll go into in the video when I'm reviewing it. But I'd had enough of my gaming chair, my Vertigear gaming chair that I'd had about 4 years. Again, I'll go into reasons why I've got rid in that video, but it wasn't great, it wasn't comfy. This is in a different league. It's like, sitting on it, it's fantastic. So I thought, getting this new chair, I don't want it on this old, on the carpet that's been ruined. I want it on a nice piece of panelled floor. So that's what I've done. So let's get into the video now on how I actually installed it. Like I said, I'd never ever done it in my life before, so it shows you, if you've never done it, don't be daunted. It's dead easy. It's easier than laying a carpet. And let's see how I did it now. Okay, so this is the nerve centre of Tom's man shed before the new floor goes in. This is where I sit. This camera I've got in my hand now filming this sits on that tripod with that light on it. That's the PC, and all this unit, this white unit, is now going to come out and be put outside, so I can get this carpet up here where this gaming chair sits and get the new flooring in, ready for the new chair. This is the chair that I'm getting rid of. I've had enough of the uncomfort, and like I said, this is the carpet that's coming out because it is hard to push this chair when you sat on it, and it is ruining the carpet. So yeah, it is now early for me, 5 to 9. I don't usually get up this early. If you think that's late, for me, I'm being retired and going to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning, it is early. So all this lot has got to come apart to go outside, so I can put the new flooring in, and it's all got to be back in by 7 o'clock tonight for tonight's online quiz. So let's get started. So all this area here under my desk will be renewed with up to these cupboards here. Now I was wondering whether to take it over to that far or just to the door and leave this existing carpet here. Well, I'm going to leave that because that's still in reasonable condition. Again, under the table you can see where the chair hasn't been. It's perfect. It's just here that all. So I've lined up this board exactly with the edge of the skirting board over here, and that is equidistant to the wall behind me. And I put this masking tape on. That's from there a straight line I'll be doing, using this board for that in a minute. So I'm going to make this first cut of the carpet. brand new blade in here. And the other way. You can see here, right after taking the carpet up, all this dust here is what's been caused by the carpet disintegrating just where the chair has been rolling. If you look over there, it's fine. It's still springing. So what I've done is I've pushed this alloy strip over the carpet before I've fixed it in place. I've cut the underfelt back about an inch further back than the carpet to give this clear, so that the carpet actually gets under here better. And I've pushed to make sure I've got it in exactly the right place. I've pushed that back, tucked the carpet under before I've screwed it to the floor, and then I'm just marking under here as I go along the line so that I can pull the carpet back and fix it properly. So, and I'll have a line that I can make sure it's bang on. I didn't want to screw that and then try and mess it about and get it in the wrong position. So I've marked a 45-degree line with a mitre block on the alloy strip. I'm cutting it here with my junior hacksaw because I couldn't find my big hacksaw, which I would normally have used. I always lose one tool at least during a project. And I always end up cutting the 45-degree end before the straight end. It's a lot easier to measure and cut it at the straight end after. Okay, so we've got all the clips up. Underfelt down. Time to start laying the flooring. So that's just 3 pieces laid on the patio outside, just as a practice. That's the sort of effect you're looking for, where it joins there. You don't want the next one joining up and all the join lines being in a line. You want them offset. So that's the sort of effect I'm looking to achieve when it's finished. So on this one, we'll just click it together, get it bang on lined up here. Click it together and then shove it under. here. There. Shove it in and then we'll sort of pull it back. Just images each end. Just leaving a gap here. So basically you just click one end together, line it up, click it in, under the strip there. As you can see, this broken bit of channeling there. Click it in place and put it down, and it's solid. You don't know this one. And here we've got the gap. We've left the strip loose there. Once you've measured it, you can just click this end on here, line them up, push it down. That's now as if it's one piece. So even though we've got broken channeling here, there's a big gap, it still goes together perfectly, and you can see that's held perfectly okay. So I use my Lidl's plunge saw. Check above the tab above for a review on that for cutting these, and it's got a very fine blade, so you can use the boards either way up and no ripping occurs at all. So here's the final very narrow bit in my case, piece cut. Like I say, that plunge saw is a great little tool. Doesn't matter, you can see there's no ripping of that laminate at all, even cutting it with the saw blades coming up through it. But the most important bit is this gap around the edge. This is for expansion. You do not want it solid up against the skirting board. You've got to allow for a bit of expansion. Now, there's not going to be much on a 1.5 metre square piece of flooring, so I've just allowed about sort of quarter to half an inch distance all the way around, which is now being covered by this quadrant. So you can see here we're just about finished. I didn't have quite enough quadrant to reach all the way along, but it doesn't matter because that gap is filled by like the chest of drawers under the table once it's in, and then there just remains a slight gap, and that's covered by the 4-pin socket. And I mean, it's under a work table, you're not going to see it anyway, but obviously if it was in main view of a room, you would run that quadrant all the way along. But I just painted it white, got it from the local DIY store around the corner. I haven't even stuck it in at this stage. I might just leave it there. Like I say, it is under a table, so nobody's even going to notice. But it just trims it off. If you are going to fix it only to the skirting board. Use some stapler or some very thin tacks or whatever, but only attach it to the skirting board. Don't attach it to the floor, because like I said, the floor has got to be free to expand underneath it. But that's it, just a bit of tidying up to do now. So this is it, all finished, all the furniture back in. So that table was in about 3, 4 or 5 parts. That took ages to screw back together. You can see the quadrant. Like I say, I've left it loose. I can always attach it at a later date, but that'll do for me. And like I've just mentioned, if you do attach it, only just push it there and then just tack it to the skirting, not the flooring underneath. But yeah, appears to have gone all right. And as you can see, the chair moves lovely and smoothly, and no carpet for the new one to ruin. And it looks okay. A professional probably could have done a better join there with the 45 degrees, but it's good enough for me. It's good enough for the shed. And yeah, so I've never done it before. It all went reasonably okay, and I think you'll agree it's a vast improvement on what was there and no carpet to ruin. I did cut the underfell a bit too far back there, just where my fingers were pressing, so yeah, you can, if at a certain angle, notice a bit of a lip where that carpet goes under, but it's fine, and we got it all totally finished with about an hour to spare before I did my Zoom quiz at 7 o'clock. So there you have it. As you saw, it all went pretty smoothly. You can get away with slightly damaged packs at a discount price. I'm sure I'm not unique in having a carpet shop that'll sell you some damaged stuff for a bargain price, and whatever you get, it's only going to cost you the same as a flexible roll-on sort of piece, or even a lot less, and it is a much better job. So if you fancy doing something along the same lines, definitely recommend it, and I hope this has been of some use. Like I say, look out for that upcoming video soon on this office chair, comparing it to my old gaming chair. Chalk and cheese. I'm absolutely loving it in here, even more now I'm sat on this. But that's for an upcoming review. So if you want to see that, please subscribe by clicking the icon of the shed here. And that is in the pipeline to be done. So I'll see you for that and many other reviews very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.